Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider Kid.
And today we're bringing you a review of the Hasbro's Fortnite Victory Royale Meowscles. Or should I say, Shadow Meowscles.
So we picked Meowscles up at GameStop for the price of $36.99, and he is still available.
Shadow Meowscles is currently available, as Spider Kid said, GameStop.com, Walmart, Amazon, and Big Bad Toy Store. However, at Big Bad Toy Store, he is priced up a little bit more. He is currently sold out at Target, Best Buy, Dorkside Toys.
Okay, so now it's a box. We can see the first thing everyone's going to notice is that we can see Meowscles in the packaging, because it's a little like window right there. And as you can see, we can see another picture of Meowscles with his name, and specifically it is the shadow version. And we can also see Fortnite, the Victory Royale series with Epic Games and Hasbro at the corner. And if we look to the side, we can see this pretty cool like box packaging. It shows you what it includes, and you can see it has a lot of good stuff with it. Now if we go to the back, you can see the figure, and with the accessory he comes with other stuff too. And if we look to the side, we can see only just his arm. And if we look at the top, we can see nothing else but just the Fortnite Victory Royale series. And if we look at the bottom, we can see a whole lot of nothingness. Okay, so with all that said, let's scratch him out of the packaging and see how strong he is.
Alright, so here we have all the accessories that come with Shadow Meowscles. Let's take a closer look at these accessories. Let's start off with the Heavy Assault Rifle. I believe this is Meowscles' mythic weapon here. That when you defeat Meowscles, he drops this mythic weapon. And this is looking pretty sweet. I mean, it literally looks like it got ripped out of the game itself. I mean, it looks really good. All the details are there from the game. Looking really cool. Here we have the stock back here. It's not adjustable, but looks cool. We got this, what looks like a wooden handle. We got the trigger, you can see there. We got these grooves on the magazine there. It's kind of like a banana clip almost. You can see there some individual sculpting here. We got some rivets there. What looks like a, kind of like a sight there. Or that is a sight. And it would line up typically like this. It would line up. There you go. It's a little offset. Going down the line here, we got these Picatinny rails on top. Looking really good there. And then we got the other sight there at the end. Looks nice. And we got these wooden pieces right here. Pretty nice. It's not wood, but I'm sure that it's painted to look like wood. Looking really good there. We got this other piece here. That's also painted with that brown. We got here a muzzle flash right here. That's looking sweet. Mine's a little bent, as you can see there. But looking good. Alright, let's take a closer look at his pistols. He does come with these two dual pistols right here. And they're both exactly the same there, as you can see. Let's take a closer look at one of these individually here. So right off the bat, we can see these cool sculpted lines right here. And also towards the front. You can see all these individual pieces there that are sculpted. It looks so cool. It looks like right there might be the safety. You got these Picatinny rails right here on the bottom. Looks really cool. You can even see the trigger there. That looks cool. You can see right here is the little part where the shells casings come out after you fire. Looks awesome. We got the sight up here, and it's a little raised on the back right there on the top for the back part of the sight. It's got that muzzle right here. It's got this piece sculpted right there. It's got this goldish reflective paint on that hammer. You can see it shine right there. That looks cool. And the pistol grip here also has that same kind of gold shiny metallic look to it. Looks really nice. And as you can see, it's even textured in there. Looks hecka nice. Right there would be for the magazines right there. You can see the bottom of it. It looks nice. This is really nice. This is detailed really good. Awesome, awesome sculpt. And again, the other gun is exactly the same as this. And yes, they do go into his holsters. So these can be actually stored in his two side holsters, which is awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at Meowscles' pickaxes. He does come with two, because these are the dual wield pickaxes. And again, these look just like the ones in the game. Same color, same everything, same style. And they both have that shiny metallic paint on them, which looks really good. That looks amazing. And then they do have some detail here and sculpt there. You can see these grooves there, which almost look like cat claw marks there. And then you got this handle right here. Looks like those pieces were put on top of it, just like a real knife there. That's freaking cool. And as you can see, the blade actually goes all the way through. That's awesome. Look at that. They did their homework, and they definitely made it look realistic, at the same time keeping that Fortnite cartoonish style. And again, here's the other one, and they're both identically the same. Alright, and then let's take a look at his back bling here. And let me tell you, this looks really cool. It's definitely what it looks like in the game, and it's basically a giant yarn ball that ports onto his back for his back bling. And as you can see, he has these two little mouse grenades, and these guys came out looking awesome. I mean, look at that. There's the pin. It's like in between their mouth. They got ears. They got a little tail. Oh, these look so cool. I mean, look at the sculpt and detail. It definitely looks like yarn. Little strands of yarn. That's so cool. And look at the insane amount of detail on these little mouse grenades. So cool. I do kind of wish we would be able to take these out, but in the game you couldn't take them out anyway, and they didn't have any kind of grenades that looked like this in the game. This is more just for style and look, but man, they look absolutely fantastic. This whole piece came out really good. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at here are the additional sets of hands, and he does come with two additional sets of hands. So he has his basic pistol holding hands, or weapon holding hands, as you can see here, which they look great. There's not much detail to them, as you can see, just basically painted there. You do get the detail though in the fingers a little bit there. You can't really see fingernails, but you can definitely see like the knuckles and stuff like that, so it's not bad. You also have these fisted hands, and these look great too. Again, not a lot of detail or nothing crazy to talk about, but they are additional sets of hands, which is always good. Alright, so let's go ahead and cover the two weights that it comes with. Let's start off with the dumbbell here. And as you can see, they look pretty cool. It's got this gold color to them, and a lot of sculpting here. You can definitely make out the individual plates here. Looks good. Same thing on this side. This looks really good. You got some marbling you can see there, like there's like this little piece missing right there. Like a chunk came out of it or something. But you know what though? But this is cool. You know, you can use this for many different characters. You can use this with Hulk. You can use it with Strong Guy. You can use it with Spider-Man. You can use it with all kinds of characters. This is just really cool. Let's take a look here at the barbell. So this thing is pretty big. You know, these weights are just massive. I mean, take a look at one of his, let's compare it with one of his pickaxes here. I mean, look at the size of this thing. These things are huge. Huge and awesome. Now, I don't know if they come apart. I wouldn't want to try. I mean, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so we pay out of our own pockets for all our stuff, and I don't want to actually ruin this. This is so cool that I don't want to ruin it. But, I mean, it's cool. I mean, look at the detail on the bar itself there. You can see that they put like these wraps on there to make it more comfortable, but even that's sculpted in. It looks like cloth or tape that's just painted purple. That looks really cool. There's not much detail to these weights, but they definitely are sculpted, so you can tell that there's more than one here. That looks really cool. Wow, this looks awesome. I can just picture this with Hulk, you know, holding this with one hand. Oh, that's going to look so cool. So very, very cool. Now, mine came a little bent, as you can see there. But honestly, I want to say that's how it's supposed to be. At least that's what Spider-Kid's telling me. But I think that gives it character, you know. It definitely makes it seem like it's heavy, you know. That's cool, though. I like this. This is awesome. Alright, and the last accessory is the weight bench. So let's go ahead and put this guy together and take a closer look. And there it is, completely built. Now, as you saw, it wasn't too many pieces and it wasn't too difficult. Honestly, it's very simple to put together. In fact, let me just show you here really quick how easy it is. I mean, this piece down here, as you can see, it has like this little T frame there, and that basically goes right where the T is, as you can see. The one down here is completely different. It's got a different pattern, so there's no way of mistaking it. Just pop this sucker in, push down far enough, and there you have it. Boom, done deal. And yeah, this guy just looks really cool. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a weight set from any other kind of, toy line before, but I could be wrong on that. But this looks really cool. I love the size of this. This thing is big. Oh man, I can just imagine the pictures. They're going to be so cool. So cool. And this could be used with anyone, honestly. I mean, the colors are a little kind of goofy, with the gold and then the pink, but it works. It's a really cool accessory. Let's get a closer look at the weight bench here. Right off the bat, the biggest thing to notice in detail is this little towel here. I mean, check out all that sculpt in there. That is so cool. I can even feel a texture in there. It's so cool. This thing looks like it'll literally just fall right off if you lift it up, but it's actually sculpted into the bench itself. The rest of the cushion here is pretty smooth. There's not much detail. It's a really smooth surface. We have here the different heights where you can put the barbell. Pretty neat. Not much detail on these things, but there doesn't need to be. Here's the front foot there. Same thing. Here's the bottom of it. Not much detail down there. And there's the back of it. And there you have it. With all the accessories covered in detail, I think I just heard Meowscles jumping out of the battle bus, so let's go ahead and take a closer look. Alright, here we have Shadow Meowscles, fresh on the island. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the details on Shadow Meowscles. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the head here. And right away, we can see that his eyes here are painted on, as well as his scar that he has there and his mouth. These are not sculpted, but these are painted. But you know what though? Despite the fact that they're painted, I think that they still nailed that Fortnite cartoonish look. And I think it looks great. The other thing you're going to notice here is on his ear. It looks like an earring, but what Spider Kid's telling me is that it's an actual earpiece. And in the game, you can actually see that his earpiece is actually on his ear as well. And that looks pretty good. Not much sculpting here on the face. Let's take a look at the back of the head. Not much. We still have this whole like charcoalish kind of colored paint throughout the body here and the face. Moving down to the neck here, we can see some sculpted lines. That looks good. We have the clavicles there sculpted in. That looks good as well. Pec muscles are sculpted in. We got this nick here. That looks pretty bad. Don't know how that happened. Must have happened in the factory. Moving down to the stomach area here, we see all the ab muscles sculpted, and those look really good. Also obliques here. That looks pretty good there. It's got a nice subtle look to it, but with the light there, you can definitely see it. And we got this scar right over here, which is painted pink. That looks good. Belly button sculpted in there. Let's move on to the back. And again, on the back, there's not much. We do see a lot of the muscle tone on the back. That's sculpted in. Nothing too crazy. Let's go back to the front here on the belt. And that belt just looks great. You can definitely see all the seams there. That looks great. The individual notches for the belt, and this belt buckle looks hecka cool. They got that bronze kind of gold look to it. They definitely used a type of metal type shine to it that gives it that gold shine. That looks great. And then obviously they've sculpted in there what looks like a cat paw. The pants look great too. I mean, it's coming out on camera pretty well. You have that whole texture, that jean texture. That looks great. Belt loops are all in there as well. Take a look at the back. On the belt here, those seams follow through. That looks great. The stitching there looks great. And we got a lot of sculpt on these jeans. I mean, this all looks great. Look at the pockets. That looks great. That jean texture goes throughout the lower body. On this tail, we don't have any real crazy sculpt lines or anything. As you can see though, the sculpt on the pants looks great. The texture is there. That looks really good. Before we go any further down, let's come back to the arms here, since we did miss a few things. If you can see here on the arms, we have a lot of muscle tone here. And again, because of the color, it's a little hard to see, but in the light though, in the right light, it looks great. It's nice and subtle. Looks really good. Up of the bicep here, we have these cat claw marks here. Looks like he got scratched up. And on the opposite side here, we have this what looks like almost like a tattoo. And it looks like it's actually the trophy, the #1 trophy, which is pretty accurate to the game as well. And that's painted with like a more shinier black, so it definitely stands out. That looks good. Nothing much on the back of the arms. Some more muscle tone back there. Same with this side, there's more muscle tone. For the hands, again, there's not much to the hands, nothing crazy. Some fingernails, some knuckles. Nothing super crazy detailed, but it looks good. It works. Definitely these shoulder straps that connect to the holsters. These look really good too. It definitely gives off that leather vibe, and you can still see the individual stitching there. And that goes throughout the whole strap all the way to the back and on the other one as well. As you can see back here, it's a little bit more clear. But you can see the stitching. And that looks great. You got his peg hole in the back here for his back bling. And yes, these straps are connected to his holsters, his side holsters, which his pistols do store in here too, by the way, which is always a plus. And as you can see, there's more of that leather stitching right there, and that looks great. We got that, again, that painted gold type of metallic sheen with this cat claw mark, or I should say paw. That looks good. Matches the belt. There's also one on this side as well, and that looks great. Continuing down to the front of the thigh here, we have these cat claw marks here. Now these ones are actually sculpted in. Unlike the other claw marks that you've seen, they've been painted on, but I think these ones symbolize more of like, you know, they were made to his flesh, and it's kind of like a scar, versus this is on the actual material, but these are sculpted, and you can feel these, and those look great. You can see more of the pockets up here. That looks good. Some more of those claw cat marks right here. There's the knees. Again, this whole texture for the jeans is great. And now down to these boots, and these boots look really good here. That looks good. I mean, look at those shoelaces. That looks great. The side here, that looks good. We got a little bit of tread on the bottom as well. There's your peg holes. You can even see a little bit of the sock right in between there. That looks great too. Now that we got all these details out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at articulation. Alright, let's go over Shadow Meowscles' articulation here. Let's start at the head. His head can go around completely. He can look up about that much, which is not much at all. He can look down that much. And he's got a little bit of tilt side to side there. Moving over to the arms, he does have these cool butterfly joints. Very nice. And his arms can go up about that much. He also has a bicep swivel. And he does have double jointed elbows. Moving down to the chest, he does have ab crunch. And as you can see, he can crunch forward that much. He can crunch back that much. He does have a waist swivel, but it is hindered by his holster straps. Also on the back here, we do have his tail. Now his tail does articulate completely around, as you can see. And it's not really on a hinge, but it can just move just slightly. He can do the splits this far out. They are a little hindered by the holsters here, but I mean, that's pretty damn good. He can also kick forward about that much, and he can kick back about that much. He does have an upper thigh cut, which does swivel, as you can see. He has double jointed knees. He also has a calf or boot swivel. He has ankle pivot. So his feet can go up about that much, and they can come down that much. Now I am having an issue with this side here. I feel like it's very, very stiff, and I feel like if I do it anymore, it's gonna break off, and I really don't want that to break. But yeah, pretty good articulation on the foot as well. And that's going to do it for the articulation on Shadow Meowscles. And Shadow Meowscles measures up to about 6 3/4, and that's to the tip of his ears there. For a side-by-side comparison, here is Shadow Meowscles next to the McFarland Peely. And as you can see, he definitely is a lot bigger. For another comparison, here we have again Shadow Meowscles next to the Jazzwares Kit. And these guys honestly scale pretty well together. And for another here, we have Shadow Meowscles next to the Jazzwares Kit and the Jazzwares The Visitor. And lastly, we have them all here together. We have the Jazzwares Kit and the Visitor, Hasbro's Shadow Meowscles, and also the McFarland Peely. And as you can see, the Visitor, Kit, and Meowscles, they all scale pretty well with each other. The only odd man out here is going to be the Peely. And there you have it, a closer look at Meowscles. Now, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the amount of accessories we got with this Meowscles, even though he was kind of considered a deluxe figure, therefore he had a higher price point. But, you know, I'm actually okay with that. I mean, the weight bench alone was absolutely cool to have. It's big, you know, it's bulky, it's cool, I love it. And I feel very satisfied the fact that we got the 2 pickaxes, we got a weapon, you know, and then we got a smaller dumbbells as well as a backbling. But could we have had more? Absolutely. I feel like they could have given us maybe 1 or 2 more things. What would those be? I don't know, I was thinking maybe along the lines of maybe we could have got, you know, a big pot, or maybe one of the, you know, minis would have been nice, you know, something small like that would have been pretty neat. Heck, maybe even a food item or something like a chili pepper or something like that. I think just maybe 1 more item would have been nice. Maybe like a bandage or something, you know. I don't know, what do you think, Spider Kid?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest. I think I'm satisfied with what we got. But I'll probably add like a couple like different faces, like probably like different mouths or something. But overall, I am satisfied for what we get.
Yeah, you know, you're right. I think maybe a head sculpt would have been nice. Alright, and now for our segment that we like to call Spider Kid's Custom Corner.
Okay, so the first custom you can do is to have them in his 2 other styles. One will be the regular version, and the other could be just the white and blue version. And another one would be to get him all gold, because you had an option to get him all gold in this season. And I guess if you wanted to also, you could also have him look like Deadpool, since there was some leaks supposedly of him with an extra style of Deadpool.
And that's going to do it for another Spider Kids Custom Corner. So final thoughts for Shadow Meowscles. Honestly, I think he's a great looking figure. There's not a lot of detail on him, at least for the upper body, besides, you know, your typical muscle, you know, detail and sculpting. The head sculpt, it's pretty plain. There isn't really any sculpt to it. All the features are painted on. But despite that, though, I think they nailed the look, you know. I feel like that's what it's supposed to be like. I think if you gave it more sculpting on the face, it would have took away from that Fortnite look and feel, you know. And as for like the holsters, I love the detail on the holsters, on the straps. That looks great. The pants, forget about it. Definitely feels like it's that jean material. As for articulation, I think he has great articulation. The only problem with mine, though, was that on the right foot, it's really stiff, the joint, so I wasn't able to move the foot up and down, and I felt that if I kept moving it, it was going to break, and I really didn't want to break this figure. I think this figure is great. The other thing I love about this thing is the amount of accessories was great. I mean, you do pay $36 for this guy, you know, so it is pretty high up there, but I feel that you feel like you get your money's worth just because of the weight set itself. I think that weight set is absolutely cool. You know, the 2 pistols you get, the 2 pickaxes, even better. So great amount of accessories.
I'm going to be honest right now, I think for all the accessories that we get, it's a pretty good figure, and yeah, the price is a little bit like over top, but for what you're getting, it's pretty good. And for articulation, I like it. It's all pinless, and it has that Fortnite look to it. And overall, I think it's pretty good, and I like how it's like all the little details on it. It makes it like pop out. And I like how the guns came able to come out of the holster, and I like the whole option of changing hands. And as always, you'll be able to see our rating system here on the left. And, you know, after everything I've seen today, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a rating of Legendary. And again, we've mentioned this multiple times, but the amount of accessories you get, the diversity in accessories, and also the articulation, the look of Fortnite that's brought to life, you know, all of that,
definitely deserves legendary. And as Spider Kid mentioned earlier in his final thoughts, the fact that he's pinless even adds to that. And also the fact that, you know, his pistols are able to sit in the holsters. I think that is absolutely amazing, which is something that I wish Marvel Legends would incorporate a lot more. I feel like sometimes they kind of pick and choose to see who gets that kind of feature and who doesn't, but I wish that would be a standard with Marvel Legends, you know?
So I give a rating for this Meowscles a
Legendary.
I give him legendary because mostly he's a really good figure. The articulation is great. I think the paint overall and all the accessories is really good. And again, I like how he's pinless, so you don't really see the pins, which makes it more Fortnite-like. So I think it's pretty cool.
And that's going to wrap it up for our review on the Shadow Meowscles from Hasbro. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.